Aisha, I think the price action, has been more than satisfactory. From where we were in terms of the November low versus where we are standing and versus where we are likely to move, the bulls should be delighted. Just like excesses in the market made the market top, excess participation, lot of froth in the FNO market, and lot of froth in the mid and the small cap stocks that made the market top. The reverse was at play in November end, which is that everyone thought that the bull market was over. Small and mid cap stocks were falling as if there was no tomorrow. Earning downgrades were impacting stocks, and stocks had started falling 15-20%. So excesses got created on both the ends, on the upside because of participation, and on the downside because of lot of fear. So markets surely have bottomed out, and I think the market rally has been nothing short of impressive. Now, where do we go from here? I think we've been maintaining this view that December would definitely be a better month than November, and I don't think we are done yet with what is in store in terms of where markets are headed in the month of December. The small and mid cap stocks have rediscovered momentum. The FOMO crowd is just about coming back, and the leadership in the market, which was really missing, now clearly lies with banks. And when you say banks, it'll just light up the screen, because that 35-40% of the weightage, which suddenly now seems to be driving the market higher. So we are in a good shape, and globally also the handover is quite decent. If at all, the global news flow I think is strong and supportive for us.
Okay, it's been a decent handover, and yes, if you look at the Nifty Bank, it's managed to hit a 2-month high at the moment. It's been up for third straight session, and the PSU banking, names also managed to, snap the losing streak yesterday. So that was also something to watch out for. In fact, if you look at the 3-day move of some of these banking indices, the Nifty Bank is up 1.5%, while the public sector banking index is up almost 2%. So clearly, where there were deeper cuts, there has been a better recovery of sorts as well. It's been Axis Bank, which has been up 2.5%. Even Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, HDFC Bank, which is the star performer, has been sitting at all-time high levels, very close to that 2,000 rupee mark now, has also managed to eke out gains of almost 2% over the last 3 days. Overall, if you look at since November 21st as well, it's the PSU banking index which has clearly outperformed. It was up almost 10-11% versus 5% as compared to the banking index. And of course, there are individual names which are, very close to the life high levels or 52-week high levels. Case in point being ICICI Bank. That was the, star performer of sorts at the start of the year. Now the leadership seems to have turned in favor of HDFC Bank. But Nikunj, what's your take on the PSU banking pack as well? HDFC Bank, we know your view that you are very bullish on that one and expecting it to hit 2,000. But PSU banks, will this recovery, outperformance and recovery continue?
So Nisha, the fact that banks have come back, it is making everyone happy, because the entire market was positioned or has been waiting for this turn in the banks. So, it's like I told you so kind of a moment by everybody looking at the way how the bank Nifty and the private banks are making comeback. Within banks, I think it's easy to dissect private versus PSU. I think both have a decent runway in the near term, and especially the large ones. Within PSU banks, SBI and a combination of BOB or Can Bank, I think they have potential to outperform simply because they are cheap. The credit liability mismatch which was there in terms of credit growth, liability growth, or deposit growth, I beg your pardon, deposit growth lacking the credit growth, that seems to be coming down again. Credit growth is now manageable, NPAs are manageable, valuations are not that stretched. So I think the base for PSU banks to go higher from here, I think is looking quite appealing to me. The problem for private banks was never earnings or valuations. It was always FI selling. And the minute FI selling seems to be diminishing, HDFC Bank and Axis Bank, I think they've started coming off. So technically they are in a good space. Momentum seems to be coming back. Earnings, I think, are favorable, and the macro conditions are also quite decent. So the outperformance in banking, I think, is a real deal, and I think it is here to stay. And if there is one instrument of choice in the market right now, I would simply say it should be the Bank Nifty for every trader.